What's up, YouTube? It's your favorite math teacher, Mr. Stevener, coming at you with another video. Uh, wait. Before we get started, though, for real, hit that red button. That way I can make content just for you. All right? Literally, whatever happens on this channel, it's for my subscribers, it's for my classroom, it's for you guys. All right? So, if you have questions, if you have comments, if you need help on things, comment below, and don't forget to like this video. Today, we're going to talk about one of the probably most used things in math, and that is algebra. Okay, but today we're not going to talk about solving equations. We're not going to talk about all that craziness. Today we're just going to talk about what is algebra, what am I looking at, what is happening. Does that sound good? Okay. Whoa! With that in mind, we are going to look at basically some fun stuff today. We're going to look at what exactly is algebra, why do we use it, what's the point of it, ... fill in the blank. I know you guys want Tommy here, so I'll bring him over. Hey, Tommy.
Oh, hey, what's going on? Oh, man, I miss making videos. This is great.
I know. We're going to learn about algebra today, Tommy.
Algebra.
You got something on your face. What were you eating?
Chocolate.
Oh, chocolate. Nice. So, we're going to talk a little bit about this word right here that I just highlighted, algebra.
Oh, okay, what is algebra? I don't get it. What is it?
Okay, algebra is actually, I'm going to cross that out for just a second. I didn't mean to actually cross that out.
Why'd you do it then?
It was an accident. My paper was sideways, and so it made it kind of funky.
Oh, man. There, that was better.
That was better. All right. So algebra is actually a lot like this word, Tommy. Arith. Oh man, I'm gonna have trouble spelling this. Arithmetic. I think that's how you spell it. That's probably not how you spell it.
Aren't you a teacher?
I am a teacher, but I'm not a spelling teacher. So basically, arithmetic, in fun fact, is these guys right here.
Oh, the operations.
The operations. Good. It's addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. Really, all algebra is these guys,
Really?
with one exception.
Oh, of course there is.
Yeah, one exception. The difference is algebra is going to have what they call unknowns.
Unknowns? What do you mean?
Well, it's basically an unknown. They represent it with these letters.
Oh, wait. Letters? I don't get it.
Well, the letters represent something you don't know. The most commonly used one is X. X is going to be one that you see a lot. Okay, but believe it or not, Tommy, you've actually seen this kind of stuff before. When you're younger, you get arithmetic problems like this, right? Where it says 1 plus 2 is equal to what? Right? And you have to solve it, right? That's some idea of an unknown. You're not sure what that is.
Well, I know it's 3.
Well, I know you know it's 3, but I'm saying the point is this is represented as an unknown, so you could actually write it like this. 1 plus 2 is equal to x, which is this unknown, right? In algebra, your goal is always to find what is this unknown. That's what algebra is. It's finding this unknown, finding the things that you're not sure of. So let's give another example where it might make more sense. You might actually see it in something like this. Okay?
Oh. Well, I know what X is.
I know this is an easy problem. I'm just trying to give you the basics. So this variable right here, or this letter, represents this idea of an unknown. Okay? Because it wants to know, hey, what is this? But really important, Tommy, is in algebra, it's basically algebra is a scale or a balance, right? What I'm talking about is it's one of those things. Have you seen one of those things, Tommy, where they have like this, right? And they got those little cups on them, and then whatever you put on one side, right, it'll drop down. Whatever you put on the other, they have to be the same.
Oh, yeah. That kind of looks like a candle, though.
Oh, well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So what's really, really important about equations, which are these guys right here, another thing that comes with algebra is equations, that both sides of this have to be equal. Okay, so you have side 1 has to be equal to side 2. That is really, really important. Okay, if that's not true, then this wouldn't be an equal sign. Okay, so I couldn't make x 3 because 1 plus 3 would be 4, and 4 is not equal to 3. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that is silly. Silly!
Yep, it would be. So with that in mind, what's really important is this x has to make this equation true. So we know x would be what?
2.
Exactly. So 2 is equal to 3, like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that 3 is equal to 3. That means this equation is balanced, it is correct, and my unknown in this case was 2. Okay? That's your goal, is to always find an unknown. Keep in mind, they get complicated and it can be a lot more difficult, but basically that's how it works. You with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep in mind though, in an equation, if you see an x, it's for something, let's do something crazy. We're not going to be able to solve this, Tommy, yet, but I just want to kind of show you. If you saw something like this,
Oh man, there's so many X's. I'm confused.
it's okay to be confused. I understand. But I just want to point out the thing that's beautiful about algebra too. If you see a bunch of x's, like you see an x here, an x here, and an x here, those cannot have a different value.
They can't?
No. X has to be, if x was 4, x would have to be 4 here, and here, and here. All of those would be the same. So anytime you see an x, it would have to be that. So finding that unknown is represented as that.
Really? Interesting.
Okay? But if you have multiple variables, and this is something to think about too, like I cannot, if I had this, let's go 9. I can't say x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 4 to get 9. I can't do that. That is not true. Okay, x cannot be 5 and be 4. That is impossible.
Really? Why?
Because x has to be the same value throughout. So there's no way that x could be that. The only thing x could be would be if it's the same. Like, say, for example, if this was 10, well, in that case, I could say x is 5 and 5. That's totally okay because the value of x is the same.
Huh, interesting.
So usually what you would do instead, Tommy, is they would add another variable like this.
Oh, okay.
So keep in mind, if you see another y over here, the y's would have to be the same, right?
Yeah.
But, oops, if I have that, right?
Yeah.
What would we think x would be?
It could be 4 and 5.
X can be 4 and 5.
Oh, no, sorry. X could be 4.
X could be 4. And what could y be?
Uh, 5?
Yep. So that's another way to look at it. You could also, in this problem, this is just to show you, right? We're not trying to necessarily solve this, but x could be 5 and y could be 4.
Oh, yeah.
And x could be 6 and y could be 3, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah, there could be a lot of different things.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, that's because these are variables. They represent unknowns. Based on this problem, we don't know what they are, okay? But I just want to show you that's really important that x and y, they have to be the same throughout each one. If there's another x over here, they have to be the same. If there's another y over here, it has to be the same as this y. You with me?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, these are just kind of basics of algebra. That's what I'm trying to teach you. There's a lot of things to algebra. Okay, another thing I want to teach you in algebra, there's always addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. It's going to be one of these things. Okay, but if you don't see some of these operations, Tommy,
Yeah.
it's always a default to multiplication.
What do you mean by that?
Well, say for example, if you had something like this where they said AB is equal to 14.
Wait, there's not any alterations at all.
Well, and that's my point. It's always a default to multiplication. So if you can assume, if you don't see any operations, that these two means multiplication. This is A times B. Now, obviously, you can't do A times B because you don't know what those numbers are, but that means multiplication. Okay, so anytime you see two things next to each other like that, it means multiplication. Here's an example. So if I had something like this, 3x equals 9. Okay, notice there's no operations anywhere, but because this number right here is next to this variable, that means multiplication. So this is really 3 times x.
Ah,
Now, the reason they do that is it makes it look a lot simpler. Like, could you imagine if you had something like this? A times B plus 3 times Y times Z plus 9 equals 27.
Oh, that looks complicated.
It's not. It's really not. But I want to show you, like, we could really get rid of those multiplications if we default it, look, and we end up getting something like, look how much easier that is to look at, right? That's why they default, it's a multiplication, okay? Makes it solvable, makes it a little bit easier to look at. So those are some basic ideas. Are you with me on that? So things to take away, Tommy. 3 things we kind of talked about. There are variables, right? That represents an unknown, but that doesn't mean you can't find it, right? We talked about algebra being a scale. It's a balance, and that's really important. And because if you're on a balance, say for example on side 1 and side 2, right? If I do something on side 1, right? Like say I gave side 1 a weight of 10. Would it be balanced?
No, because side 2 didn't get a 10.
Side 2 didn't get a 10. Something really important. In algebra, you can move things around, you can add things to different parts, you can do whatever you want to manipulate the problem as long as you do the same to both sides. So if I add 10 to this side, it's really important that I also add 10 to side 2. If I instead were to take away 6 on this side, I would have to take away 6 on this side.
Huh.
If I multiplied by 9 on this side, I would have to
Multiply that 9 on the other side.
exactly. Now, the reason you would do that, and here's your goal in any algebra problem, and I'm going to show you an example right now. Let's do something like this. And I know this problem is really easy, but our goal is to find this value, right?
Yeah, the unknown, the variable. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so with that in mind, to find a variable, this is really important. You could star this. You can say, wait, what am I trying to do? This is a terrible arrow, but you're trying to do this is star. You are trying to get x by itself. Is x by itself?
No, there's the plus 5.
Exactly. So you would have to manipulate this, and this is talk about this in the next video. But you would have to figure out. I know x is 10. I know a lot of you see that and you go, well, that's easy. I understand. It gets harder than that. But your goal would be to move things around so that x is all by itself. But that'll be the next video, Tommy.
Oh, I can't wait.
Hopefully you guys learned some things, a little bit about the basics of algebra, right? You got multiplication as the default, right? You've got a lot of stuff going on, but hopefully that helps you guys.
Yeah, thanks. That's awesome.
All right, anyway, Tommy, appreciate you. You guys subscribe, like the video. I hope you watched to the end. Right, Tommy?